Alright guys, now we're gonna pin the ARs against each other to find the best AR and the worst AR. We're gonna start here with the worst, number 9 spot, the SVT. Why is it in the worst spot? It's a 2-shot kill. Well, here's the thing. It may be a 2-shot kill, but it may have a little less recoil and 2 extra bullets in the clip to the M1 Grand. But in the end, if you can control any kind of semi-auto recoil, there's no reason not to use the M1 Grand that has a much faster and noticeable fire rate than the SVT. It is just all around a garbage gun, and there's no point in using it whatsoever. That's just that. Not much to say on it. Now we're going to the Guru 43. In this one, again, is like the SVT and the M1 Grand are competitors. This and the M1 Carbine are competitors. Alright, so I feel the M1 Carbine is better than this one. It feels more consistent, and that's really the only reason I'm saying this. And this is just pretty far down the list, but not far behind it. In the number 7 spot is the M1 Carbine. Now this gun, the reason it is so low on the list is because of its slow time to kill. But in the end, it may have a slow time to kill, but is incredibly consistent. So when I'm playing on very large maps, I feel that I can destroy people with this. Now this gun can move up to take the 5th place spot from a gun we'll get to here shortly. It can take the 5th place spot if you run high caliber. If you're going for headshots, this can kill stupid fast, and it would be very far up on the list if I was really good with headshots. I have my diamond on everything but LMGs and knives and pistols and launchers, but I feel even then you still don't hit enough headshots to really put it high enough up on the list. But with high caliber, you could 2-shot people ridiculously fast with this gun. But because of the challenge of doing so, that is why it is down at the number 7 slot. Now let's go to number 6, the M1 Grand. The M1 Grand is another situation kind of like the M1A1, where it thrives in specific spots, in specific times, when you're in those certain situations where up close this gun just wrecks. There's really nothing that can compete because 2-shot instant kills. High caliber does nothing. You can't make it a 1-shot kill, so don't even try it. But basically, you can 1-shot enemies that are already wounded. This is an amazing gun. But the thing is, at range, this gun struggles. And for that reason, for the high recoil alone, that is why this gun is so far down on the list. Solely because of recoil and so the range is really limited. Because in the end, that fast, when you pop those 2 shots off, if you're at really long range, the likelihood is you're going to have to take a small pause to recenter before you can fire again to get that second bullet into them. Not all the time. You can get very lucky all the time. But for me personally, I find it kind of difficult at range, and that's why I feel an automatic could pick it off at longer range. So that's why this one is down a little lower on the list. Now we're getting into our fully automatics in number 5 spot, the FG42. Now this gun used to be way up in the top 2, no doubt in my mind, until they nerfed it. Now I believe they only nerfed it because the pro scene seemed to only be using the FG42 when it comes to ARs, as now they've switched over to the STG, but at the moment they were using the FG42. I felt it was in a very good place where it was doing what it was supposed to. This gun has been through a roller coaster of patches, buffs, nerfs, go ahead and look at my video for the FG42 if you would like to get more information on that. But this gun, it's still a very good gun, but it's one of those situational guns where it's only good in its specific design situation, which is long range. When you're up close, this gun is never going to compare to pretty much any other AR except for maybe the SVT. But at long range, this thrives. But because it only thrives at one range, I had to put it lower on this list. Alright, now we're going to move over to our 4th place spot. This gun is really underrated. It is an amazing gun, but people just don't use it enough. And this is in the same aspect of the FG42. It has its specific needs. The FG42 is your long range gun. It thrives at long range, which is why it is in a lower spot on the list, because it only really thrives at one range. This one is the same. It is the close range. So that is why it is further down on the list in the 4th place spot, because of the fact that it is close range. Now this gun melts. So this one kind of has two different groups behind it. There's the group that doesn't really use it and never really has given it a fair try. When I say fair try, I mean leveling it all the way up, trying it with all the attachments, and making a reasonable decision on if it's good or not after that. This gun is on one of the two sections in people's minds. It's either on this gun's garbage and I'm never going to use it, even though more than likely they haven't really used it enough anyway and got attachments on it yet, or you're on the side that knows this gun is a beast and you know that it is very, very underrated. So yeah, in my opinion, this gun really does deserve a higher place on this list, but can't get it due to some of our other guns. Now the 3rd and 4th place were really hard to decide which one goes where, so I just had to wing it. But going into our 3rd place is the STG. Now this gun does have a very slow time to kill, no doubt, but the fact is it's a laser. It has no recoil, it's consistent, you know what it's gonna do. This is just your all around good high fire rate assault rifle, the classic feel of your AK and all that from previous Call of Duties. This is just overall straight up average. It doesn't excel, it's not horrible, it's just average. And for that reason, it made our 3rd place slot. Because we all know in almost every Call of Duty game ever, there was always that gun that's just consistent, and that is why it was loved. Well, that is this gun. Now we're going to get into the 2nd place and 1st place slots. Now, some of you may agree, some of you may disagree with these next two in the order I put them in. So, I put as number 2 the bar. Now, yes, it is not as hyped as it was when it first came out, but it is still a very good gun. It is, again, another good in almost every situation kind of gun. But in the end, I feel like it lives in the shadow of our new DLC, the Volkssturmgewehr, or the Volkssturmgewehr, or however you like to pronounce it. This gun is overpowered. It's only a matter of time before it takes a nerf, because this gun is just great. The way I look at it is it's like the STG in consistency, but a faster time to kill, a fast fire rate. This gun is just amazing. Now, if you haven't used this gun yet, if you don't have this gun yet, you better get it. I know that through Major Howard right now, they're no longer doing contracts to get these guns for free, but you can still save up those armory credits And well, I guess you can't even buy them through collections now because that's done. But you better start doing those contracts, because once you get this thing in a supply drop, you will be beyond happy. This is an amazing gun. Alright, so with that being said, go ahead and leave in the comments below your favorite to least favorite gun, or at least throw out there if you agree with my list, disagree with my list, your opinions. I love to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you like this video and if it was helpful. Alright, I'm out.